And hello everyone, I'm the son of Filippo Rossi, the creator, the ideator of all of this, Change Your Life Academy. So what does this mean? This means that I've been living since I was just a little kid in the Change Your Life Academy mindset. So what's my reason why I'm here now? The reason why is to give you an understanding of how much you are, how much more you are than what you actually think. One of the main teachers in the UK of Change Your Life Academy. So Change Your Life Academy includes a part for kids and adults, both of them. Now we are talking about Change Your Life leadership. You have to know that Filippo worked for many years with big companies. He used to work as a consultant in leadership, in improving the performances of these businesses. And he saw that on all the different people that he worked with, there were 5 key core competencies that they had that made them the true leaders, the leaders that they were, the extraordinary leaders that they were. And these 5 competencies have been put together in this seminar, Change Your Life Leadership. So just to give you an overview, then we will focus on one that is like I would not say the most important one, but one that is really a point of focus for many of you. So first characteristic, the first competence is self-awareness. So what does this mean? You need to know about yourself. You need to understand who you are. You need to understand how you function. You need to understand what your limits are. Because if you don't understand that, if you don't know it, you can't upgrade, you can't work on them. So you need to know where you are. Then, the second characteristic, that is a really important one that many of you mentioned, that is something that will help you, and it is strategy and vision. So what it is about in Change Your Life Leadership, you will learn an incredible tool that is called the Train of Success. What does it do? It's a tool that, in a scientific way, will lead you to reaching any goals that you have in your life. So it doesn't matter where you are starting. It means that you can reach everything and go beyond procrastination, go on time management. It's really specific, this. And so for those of you who said, I want to work on my personal and also work skills, that's the right one. I want to work on managing my time better. I don't want to procrastinate anymore. I want to have a direct line of direction that I want to reach, that I want to follow to get somewhere. So this is the right tool. Then the third core competence is called knowledge. So knowledge, it's been said by many people. Knowledge is power. It's something that today we know. But why knowledge is power? Because if you know many things, you can understand many things. And I want to be true with you. When we have the courses with the kids, I know that you might not know it, but we do teach the same thing that you will learn also to many kids, and this is part of our project. When we work with them, we always say, well, you have to know something, that in this world, many people don't want you to be an intelligent people because it's easier to manipulate you. It's easier to make you think that something is true, but it is not actually true. And for this exact reason, knowledge is power. Because if you know, you can't be mocked. So in this case, Filippo developed in more than 20 years. So it's quite a huge work that he did. He put together many different things that already have been existing for a time. And he developed the so-called 3-dimensional reading method that is an accelerated learning method. We're getting there really soon. Then the fourth pillar, the first competence, is about willpower and focus. So how many times it has happened to you that you set for yourself a goal, you set for yourself an objective, you tell yourself, hey, I want to get there, that's my objective. But then after like a couple of days, a couple hours, a couple maybe weeks even, if you are really experienced, after a time you drop that. You don't follow that anymore. So willpower and attention. And Filippo developed also in this case one tool that is called the meditation of presence, that in just no more than 21 minutes per day will give you enough willpower to reach and to be consistent in your life, so to be able to get to any goals that you want to reach. And then the last one, managing your emotions. How many times it happens that maybe you're just caught by an emotion that you can't manage, you can't understand what is happening, because emotions are fast, are strong, you can't understand what is going on, but maybe after a time you say, oh God, I was so angry before, I didn't understand what happened, sorry for my reaction. Maybe you are working with one other colleague, maybe with a part of your family, and it happens that you can't control yourself. So managing your emotions become really important when we talk about leadership. So these are the competencies that every extraordinary leader have. Now, let's go to the one that is the focus of today, knowledge. So knowledge is power. But how can we increase our knowledge? Because we know that if I need to read a book in the usual way, like, I don't know, 300 pages, it might take me a week, because I have many things to do in my life. It takes a long time to read. Well, in this case, the three-dimensional reading method developed by Filippo gets right there and give you the tool to accelerate this, but also to be able to retain what you learn. How many times it has happened that you read something, you study something, and then after a while, what did I study? I don't recall anything. You can't retain the information. Why is this happening? You need to know this. I'm going to explain it right now. One thing that will help you to comprehend what this method is about, and almost the most important thing, the most important thing is how much more powerful you are than what you think, than what they told you you are. Because we know, we have been experiencing it, that many times people tell you, hey, maybe you're not capable in that thing, maybe you're not the right one for math, for studying things, for learning. And in that case, you start saying, well, in this case, I'm not capable. You create a limiting belief, but it's not true. Let's understand why. So in neuroscience, in the last years, it's been discovered that our minds can be divided into different parts. And in specific, the two main parts are these ones. I will help myself with the flip chart so to give you a better understanding. So we have this part inside of us that is called the rational conscious mind. Okay, it is a part of us that, as you can see by my drawing, is pretty limited in a box. It's able to think. It's the one that you use when you need to think, to understand things. You compare different things. It's like the conscious one, we call it this way. Okay, it's the one that usually almost every day. You use it when you need to learn many times. Okay, then there is another part inside of us that is called the deep intuitive mind. Deep intuitive mind. What is this? The deep intuitive mind is the most important part of yourself. Just to give you an understanding of it. Are you breathing now? I hope so. If not, please take a breath. Are you now? Is your heart beating now? Again, I hope so. So your heart is beating. Thanks. Perfect. So deep intuitive mind. Amazing. What does it do? Well, it manages all these functions. It manages all the functions that you do not have inside of your rational mind, that you don't think about it. You're not thinking about using your heart, using your lungs now. Okay, but it's still functioning. It's unlimited, as you can see, and it's capable of elaborating millions of stimuli continuously. All the five senses are elaborated. Okay, perfect. So this is something that has been discovered by the neuroscientists of these days. And in specific, what is the problem? That we use this part to learn things, but it is a closed box. You need to know that it can contain, in the same time, usually in the luckiest times, 7 minus plus 2 pieces of information in the same time. This is why when you learn something, you start forgetting the things that you learned before. That's it. So it's not a proper one to use. You should be using this part, deep intuitive mind. Now we see how. So to understand this, to understand how it works, please, let's do this exercise with me, okay? It's pretty simple, it's not difficult to do. So now, please, when I will tell you, not now, but when I will tell you, please look at your right. So move your head on this side, on the right, look at your right, then I will count 1, 2, 3, and you will look at your left, okay? Pretty easy, and just observe what is going on, okay? So do it now. Look at your right, then 1, 2, 3, and look at your left. Now move your head and look at your left. Okay, perfect. So what has happened? What did you see in this simple exercise? So for example, in my case, I have on this side a wall. Here there is also another wall with a window there. So in this is my case, okay? What has happened in your case? Maybe you saw something different, perfect. But what about what was in the middle? Just think about it. Was it focused? Was it unfocused? Was it blurred? Were you capable of seeing it? Have you paid attention to it? Because in many times, what you looked at in the middle was not something that you paid attention to. But why is this happening? Look here. This is our eye, okay? This is like a representation of our eye. I hope that, okay, perfect, you can see it. So like this is cut it in this way. You have the retina here. This is the part where light gets in, okay? And when you look at something, you need to know how it works. When you look at something like here, like imagine we have a tree, okay? I hope that maybe you see it. Perfect, yes. So I look at a tree, and this image of the tree gets inside of my eye through that part, and I focus on the tree. What does it mean that I focus on it? That this part here, that is called fovea, receives the information, okay? And so what does it happen? That through the nerve, that is optical nerve, the information reaches your rational conscious mind, okay? And you are consciously aware of what you are seeing. So you looked at that, and consciously you were able to know that, yes, I had a wall, I had a window, amazing. But what about what's in the middle? Well, all this information were caught by the peripheral vision, okay? This is this part, that through the optical nerve again, it reaches your deep intuitive mind, and all the informations are stored there. But hey, pay attention now. This is an important thing. Your peripheral vision is still capable of seeing things, is capable of recognizing things, and you have been experiencing this too. You had experienced this too in your life. So just as an example, I don't know, maybe you bought a car in your life, or maybe you have a friend, a parent, somebody in your family that bought a car, and you know that thing that has happened. So what has happened? That maybe you decided to buy that car, you got to the shop, you decided to buy the car, you signed the documents, and after, between that time and the time that you actually received the car, what has happened? That you were seeing cars of the same model, of the same brand, all over the street. But hey, it's not that happened that people were producing more cars of that type. It's where that you were focusing on them. Okay, perfect. Why was that happening? Even though you were not paying attention to them, you were just driving and you were seeing like a Audi Q5. I don't know, that's one. Okay, why was that happening? Because here at this level you have a part that is called the preconscious elaborator of the deep intuitive mind. It seems like a strange word, okay? But this is really important, and this is like a filter, okay? This filter here is something that has inside of it all your objectives, like I want to have this car, or your moral, okay? And what does it happen? That when an information from your peripheral retina gets here, it just bounces and gets to the rational mind because it's something that interests you, okay? So this is a concept that we will explain, of course, really in depth during the course. But why is this so important for us? Now let's do the last exercise. Please imagine if you don't have one. If you have a book with you, please pick one book, okay? So pick a book, or imagine that you have a book in front of you. So now I will tell you to do this. Just wait a second. You will have to open that book, look randomly and see and read one word aloud so that you can hear the voice reading that word. And right after it, close the book. Okay, it's pretty simple. So get ready. If you have a book with you, please do it. 3, 2, 1. Open the book, read the word aloud, close the book. Okay, perfect. If you don't have a book, just I think that you have imagined it. So like how long does it take to read that word? Second, like a fraction of a second, correct? Am I correct with this? Perfect. So just imagine now. Get ready because this is like a bomb. Please sit comfortably on the chair. What if you were able to read in the same time you read that one single word, all the words of the 2 pages? What if you were able to read in the same time that you read one word, all the words, so that both of the pages that you had in front of you? This is the 3-dimensional reading method. In a part of it, you will be able to read at a speed of 2 pages per second. You will just do this with a book, turning the pages, and you will be reading. That's it. Why does it happen? Because you can learn to use this part, the peripheral vision, to learn to read and then connect the information between the deep intuitive mind, all the information will be here, to the rational conscious mind. That's it. You will be able, after a time of 4 weeks, by practicing, to read up to 200 pages in more or less 1 hour. That's where you can get. So now, just imagine this. What I just explained to you is a little part, and it's like the 20% of Change Your Life Leadership. Imagine what it is. It's way more than what you can think. It's a completely change your life. It's not just doing something to upgrade your life. It's changing your life, reaching your objectives, becoming an extraordinary person as you were born to be, and as people maybe in life told you that you are not, that maybe you're not capable, that maybe you're not enough. That's false. Please, that's false. Forget this. You are an extraordinary people. You just need to learn how to use yourself properly. This is Change Your Life Leadership. Thank you so much. I am really looking forward to see you there on Change Your Life Leadership. Thank you so much.